for joining us. This is the Heroes Era, and I'm your Dungeon Master, Raging Sensei. These are your heroes. Vincent.
Hey, I'm Chris, playing Vincent, Fallen Azamar Warlock.
And Silverado.
Wood Elf Monk, very sad, alcoholic.
And Eric.
Hey, I'm Jason, playing Eric, Fighter Cleric. Human Fighter Cleric, sorry.
Join us for an adventure, a game of Dungeons and Dragons. We're telling a story and we do not yet know how it will go. The players, the Dungeon Master, the dice, all of these will have a hand in how the game unfolds. This is the Heroes Era.
Nice.
And I was just wondering, guys, did that music come through for you on Roll20?
Yes, it did.
Yeah, I heard some music. I wasn't sure if it was through someone else's mic.
Yeah, I know what's going on.
I'll have to work on raising the level of that, but I'll see how it came through in the stream.
I'm hearing things.
So last time on the Heroes Era, some different things happened.
Stuff happened.
Stuff definitely happened.
Dice were rolled.
They were.
It went
fates
down.
unfolded, and some things were decided. So you guys want to briefly go over what happened?
Well,
So much.
A lot went down.
just a couple of things happened.
I came off of a very interesting conversation and then ran into the wizard Orgood, and that was a weird thing. We chatted for a bit, in a very standoffish conversation, and eventually let me pass. Told me that there were supposedly that my friends were being held captive, and he was going to go retrieve them. After he left, I turned invisible and snuck around because you can't leave me alone. I'd make bad choices.
So the
And
wizard
so-
had made you a guest in his guest quarters, right?
Yes, yeah, he showed me to his guest quarters, which, so I immediately, like I said, turned invisible and snuck out and went poking around. I found the main area where I was reunited with the rest of the party once they came in, and then we proceeded to figure out that this Orgood guy was no good and needed to be dispatched, and we would be said dispatchers.
Our side of the story was
Yes, because
very
you began-
different.
You did.
And that's
begin
how
that
it
session
happened.
separately from him. So
Yes. So for a while there, it was me and Xander and a couple of dwarves stuck in a cave, and we were trying to make choices to get out of there because we had no idea what this wizard was all about after we fought some of his minions, essentially. And it ended up in me and Xander trying to scout out ahead without taking a short rest, which was a bad idea because we immediately both got knocked out and we woke up in a cage. And after taking a short rest, did we take a short rest or did we just go for it immediately?
You're thinking about 2 weeks ago. Last week was
I know.
when we all hooked back up.
Yeah. So essentially, we did a jailbreak. Xander died, and I took the magic hammer that let me breathe underwater, and I dove in through the river and made my escape there, leaving Deathida and Kingston behind. And I was found by Wilnalda when I was basically falling unconscious when I was running throughout the caves after I passed the Minotaurs. And I woke up in a tavern where I met up with the other group of dwarves that we were with. And that's where I also met Kyle. Was it Kyle? Or Eric?
Eric.
Kyle. Eric. Same name, basically.
Okay.
And that's where I met up with Eric, and we discussed on how we're going to approach the wizard and save our friends. And on a time because of our. I am stuttering very bad right now. Because of our dwarven companions made an appointment with Orgood to try and get us back. We were going to go to that appointment and try to figure something out there. We looked around a bit in the guest or in the greeting hall. That's where we saw Vincent. And when we all met up, we went, and after a confrontation that had no diplomacy with the wizard, we went after him, took out some minotaurs, left. Before we left, we found Xander still alive, seemingly.
Right.
Deathida and what was his name?
Kevin.
I can't believe I forgot his name.
Your boy Kevin?
Boy Kevin. Sorry. And Kevin was there as well, and I was very suspicious if they were real or not. And throughout some questions, we found out they were real, and that Xander was fake, obviously. And we fought the wizard.
Good.
And killed the wizard because he was very tired looking for us. And then I was unconscious. A couple other people were unconscious, and we all got dragged out of there alive somehow.
That's basically where we left off. Yeah.
We were making our way over to the church when we let off.
We thought it would be a bad idea to drag the dead wizard with us, so we threw him in the fire.
Yep,
Stoked
burned him alive. Oh, not alive.
But Vincent looked him over to make sure there wasn't anything nice and shiny before we burned him to death. Burned him
Of course,
dead.
of course.
Yeah, I got my scepter back.
That's right too. Yeah.
Yeah, it looked as though he had been roused from sleep, so he didn't have very much on him at the time. Quite an inconvenient moment for this wizard. And so I believe that brings us to the current situation, to today's game. And this game will begin with you all fleeing the wizard's tower, having just defeated him. You are on your way to the Temple of Therazessa, who is the mother of Gira. The cleric, Eric, has been in town for a short period of time, so he is vaguely familiar with some of the local customs. This is an oppressive city. The entertainment district is for the rich, with Ramor's throne sitting atop the government building. Ramor is the fire giant who watches the commerce of his city, keeping an eye on his agents who are ever collecting taxes, imposing fines on his behalf. The mining communities surrounding the outside of the city are tight-knit and tend to shun outsiders. And of course, where you all are right now is one of those mining communities owned and operated by Orgood. And that is what has brought Eric here as well. Yep. So, as you leave the wizard's tower, you will begin your journey towards this Temple of Therazessa.
Okay.
So, will you guys describe to me, if you're taking precautions, what the manner of your journey is? Because just as a recap, I think we have 4 dwarves with us. We have Thragnaun, Humnalda, Boruli, and Deathida.
That sounds right.
And Kevin.
Yeah.
And Kevin. And I think Kevin and Deathida are unconscious, and I'm unconscious. Yes. Us 3 are unconscious, and we're being carried by whoever's available.
The dwarves.
Vincent and I are trying to pretend like they're you guys are drunk and out of it, and we're trying to get you where we're going. That's where we left off.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
I have extremely good deception, and I have a charlatan's background, so I'm very used to sort of playing it off and working my way through the crowds and being not seen and hiding in plain sight and such. So.
Okay, well, coming out of here, you all look like you have just been in quite the situation, a brutal fight. Most of you are, almost half of you are unconscious, so.
That's right.
I guess I imagine the half of you slung over the shoulders of your dwarven friends. They're looking you about cautiously. Of course, these are dwarves from the surface, so they're not as welcome in this underground city.
That's right. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything we can do to try and... Just trying to think if I know. I've been in town a little bit, trying to think if maybe we can take a less direct pathway to where we're going, if it's possible to avoid any big crowds.
That's a good thought. You know that the Temple of Therazessa is due east across the city.
Yeah,
So,
it's basically the opposite side of the city to where we are, if I remember from when we left.
exactly.
So it wasn't on the way from the tavern we were in. Sorry.
No worries. Right. And if you were to go directly there, you would go through the entertainment district. You know that that's going to be quite busy at all times, and it would be a good place to draw attention to yourself. So it might be wise to avoid the entertainment district, take a less traveled route, or one that would draw less attention to you because of the kind of people you would be around. So perhaps
there's also a temple to Anam, right? We would probably want to avoid that area.
Right. They have constructed the Temple of Anam very close to the government building, so that would be north and out of the way if you were to take a southerly route.
Okay, good. Yeah, we definitely want to avoid the entertainment district, though. It's not the entertainment that we're looking for right now.
Okay. Well, you know the path. You lead the way.
Do we have a way to bring Silverado back around to consciousness, or the dwarves?
Yeah.
I'm just taking a
Ragnar
nap.
has a bum leg, and he throws Silverado
New name.
down against the wall of the tavern that you guys had left.
I can't remember. Have I used my healing hands already today? I think I did.
I don't think you did, actually.
Did I not?
No,
Okay.
I used a couple healing spells, and I used my second wind on myself.
All right, well, I'll do that then.
I think Death had a potion.
I'll give Silverado healing hands then, so I give him 4 hit points. Bring him up.
Woo!
I know you you brought out your Dark Passenger, but that was about it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, which we still have to explain.
So Vincent kills Silverado, comes up, and we still have 2 unconscious dwarves here.
Yeah, I'll fireman's carry one of them.
Okay.
Oh man, I am in a rough shape, everybody. But I can live. I'm living. We're good.
Okay. Once we get where we're headed, we'll be able to hunker down.
Humlalda says, perhaps some of us should stay at the tavern.
That can work, yeah.
That might not be a bad idea.
They have a room, don't they?
I think maybe just the 3 of us can make our way over there and do what we need to do.
Sure.
Yeah,
maybe they can lay. I think didn't they have a room, or Silverado had a room? Maybe you guys.
I was in a room. I don't have a room. I think it's Momnalda's room.
That might not be a bad idea.
Yeah, you can take the ones that are unconscious and let them rest. Since you are, I don't think you guys are suspect. Well, more so than the 3 of us, which are a human and a guy in a cloak and an elf down underground. It doesn't really.
I think honestly, the dwarves stick out more down here than we do.
Do they though?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know the social structure of this place, but I feel like the dwarves would be.
Eric has a little bit more information regarding this than
generally. The service dwarves and Durgar are not buddies. They don't really like to.
So we would be well received.
Then, if the dwarves are more, it's all the more reason they should be hunkered down in their room
in the tavern.
Yeah. No, I agree. We could come back to them. Maybe come back and get them when.
Of course.
When we figure things out.
I mean, they probably wouldn't mind being somewhere they can get a beer too.
Probably not. Umnalda says, yes, many of us need rest. But Thragnown is reluctant to leave the side of Vincent, and he has decided that he will continue with you. And the others, he says, will stay behind. He says, I have left the orb on one occasion. The stone will not go out of my sight again.
Cool.
Fair enough.
And Kevin will stay with them, or would Kevin come with us?
Kevin's unconscious. He's totally out of it.
Kevin must rest here.
He's a growing boy.
That's fine.
How many times have we got that kid knocked unconscious?
This is the fourth time now.
What race were the people that ran the tavern that we were in? Were they dwarves as well? Durgar? Yeah. Okay.
This, if you recall, this district or mining community was referred to you for the way that it accepts outsiders and provides them work in the mines and things like that. Of course, with that come other, rumors of them going missing and things of that nature. But it is one of the communities in which, outsiders, in this sense, meaning surface dwellers typically, would be welcome in this community. In most others communities down here, not as much. Perhaps in the entertainment district, yes, because surface dwellers with money probably come down here a lot for a good time, things like that.
Right on.
Yeah. Wow.
And so most of these dwarves have elected to stay, and you all are interested in continuing on to the Temple of Therazessa, I imagine.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I might pull the hood of my cloak up over just, I don't know, it's got a bad feeling.
Yo, can you give me your pick? Because I'm currently shirtless and I would like to blend in a bit. Your war pick so I can look like a miner.
Yeah, sure. I pull it off the hanger on my belt and hand it to him for now. Sure.
Cool. I just
don't go too far with that though.
I stick right by you and I just have it over my shoulder like I'm just walking after a day work because I look bloodied and hurt. So
that's smart.
I'll do the hood up, sort of sink into the shadows a little bit.
Just a hurt elf and his two cloaked figures going into town.
I'll kind of break apart from the other guys as well, so we're not walking in like a clump together. So I'm still with them, but not like immediately together. Kind of spread us out a little bit.
And I'll try and make sure I stay ahead so at least they can see me to get a sense of which direction we're going.
Yeah. And I'm trying just casually walk. I'm not trying to stealth or sneak or anything. Just trying to blend into the environment.
Thragnown has a long robe on with a large hood that he pulls about his head and neck, but he also pulls the robe aside to reveal his battle axe. It is finely crafted, and only a fool would mess with somebody carrying a weapon like that.
I feel like I'm missing out. Where's my robe? Oh, my robe burnt. Where's my new robe, guys? Come on.
Well, maybe we'll get you one before we leave town.
Oh, we gotta. It's cold.
Well, then, it is a long walk, and my leg is getting stiff already. Not to complain, my friends.
Yeah, I switch my new pickaxe to my left shoulder, and I take out a bottle on my right, and I sip it as we walk.
Thragnown reaches out his arm.
I give him it
for the bottle. He takes a long drink and hands it back.
Thank you.
There. Medicated.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
That's it. Yep. Hopefully we'll get there with no worse for wear. Now I see why it's a bad idea to bring that wizard with us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's been tricky.
So you all continue through town. And your path takes you through shanty towns, past stalls with various goods for sale. Most of them look poorly made. There are street vendors selling different food items. And your path takes you down a side alley. Eric, you've been this way before. You're getting near the temple. As you go down this alley, you see you see two figures on the ground in rags and shambles, and you see standing above them two Dwergar who are finely dressed. They're dressed like wards of the city, guards, servants, officers, what have you. And they seem to be rousting up these people on the ground. As you turn the corner, they look towards you, and one of them smacks the other on the shoulder. They walk towards you, with an air in their step. And they say, "Hello. Going for a walk, huh?"
Yes, sir.
Just trying to walk off the drink, if you know what I mean.
I raised my bottle.
Oh, well, you haven't had too much to drink, have you? And he seems to be looking you up and down.
I mean, is there such a thing as too much? Am I right?
Well, as long
Just
as
give
you're
a
not
nod.
getting into any trouble, right?
I mean, listen.
Nah,
do you
nah.
see any trouble being caused? I'm just walking down the street, man.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Okay.
Well, as you know, Ramwar is having us pull extra duty. You know, hardworking as we are, ever the harder we will work for Ramwar. And
Yeah,
so,
of course.
yes, well, then you understand. If we could please just have a look at your goods and then be on your way. Make sure you've paid for the proper tags.
Would I know what he means by that? The tags?
I know what he means, but
Eric, you know that coming into the city, items for sale need to be designated as so. And then
Oh, okay.
items sold within the city impose a heavy tax.
Right.
A burdensome tax. I think I said it was ridiculous, like almost 50%, maybe exorbitant of anything sold within the city.
Okay.
And then when that's done, you'll of course receive a receipt saying that you've paid your tax.
Right on.
Well,
I
my
mean,
fine sir, I have nothing on my person that I did not enter the city with.
Yeah, we're the same.
Oh, well, very good. Then you have the list of goods that you came into the city possessing.
I probably would because I came through a normal avenue.
Yeah, Eric, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you on your way in, you entered the city through the northeast road. It comes along a river, and usually there are 3 or 4 ways in and out of this mountain that are well traveled. But currently, that's the only way in and out for commerce or travelers, unless you're a local who lives underground somewhere, because many of the underground passageways were flooded with the Ruckachucky River being pulled from the ground. So on your way into the city, it was quite an ordeal to get in, and you were searched very casually, probably because of perhaps you have an affiliation or you look dignified in some way. I believe you're royalty of some sort, or you have
became from nobility. Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Yeah, so I would imagine you coming into the city, pretty easily, and then them being pretty lax in the way that they, analyze your goods. But they would have marked, expensive pieces of armor or weapons.
Okay.
And how many of them are there?
2.
Talking to us, 2 of them? Okay.
Oh,
Do I
yes.
get- do I-
and what is your
Insight.
name,
Do I
good
get
sir?
to check that these guys can be bought off?
I don't know. It's hard to say. You could roll an insight check. He's looking at your list of goods here and says, "Oh, well, it's pretty straightforward."
How did I do?
What do we roll?
an 18.
18. Yeah, 18.
These guys look like they would love to be bought off,
Yeah.
but you'll have to do it very carefully. You don't want to insult their integrity, or have them discovered, or make them feel as though,
We don't respect the authority of.
Yeah, it's probably a little bit of, a tricky line to walk here. So as they hand yours back to you, Eric, from...
From the city of the Three Kingdoms. I'm quite a long way from home.
I'm sorry, whoever admitted you did not write that. Yes, you are a long way. What has brought you here?
I'm just I've set out to see the world. Part of my duty in the house that I serve is that I just need to gain life experience so that I can be a really stalwart advisor when I finally do return. My one of my older siblings is set to one day take over the reign of my father, and it's my duty to be his advisor. And the best way to be able to advise someone is to gain life experience by traveling, and that's what I'm doing.
Well, can I give you some advice then, Eric of the Three Kingdoms?
Please.
Maybe you should choose different company because you found yourself in the company of what appear to be a couple of drunks. And he looks over at you, Vincent and Silverado.
I've had a rough couple of days.
Indeed. Are you just going to work, or what are you off to?
I'm coming back from work.
And how do you know Eric?
Well, I met him.
Yeah, we're having a chat and shared a drink together at I'll say the name of the tavern that we were in.
The Perfect Pint.
And we shared a meal and a few drinks together and good conversations, and that's about it, really.
Yeah.
I see.
I'll tell you, sir, with all due respect, I'm sorry, I did not catch your name. What was your name?
Mordecai.
Mordecai.
Mordecai. That's a cool name.
It's very nice to formally make your acquaintance. I'm Vincent.
What is your name, sir?
My name is Vincent.
Vincent. Yes, good to meet you.
Yes. So I'm glad that Eric's papers are in order. Everything looks good there. That's great. Here is ours, and I'm going to hand him. I have a piece of parchment because we've got some parchment paper that I've folded up, and inside the folded up paper, I've placed 2 platinum pieces. So and then as he's opening up, I'm just gonna say, I think you'll see that everything is in line for us. We're not here to cause any trouble or make any fuss. We'll just take care of our businesses and be on our way. And I apologize for any inconvenience that we may have caused you. As you said, you're very busy, and we want to let you get on with your day.
As you hand him the paper and he begins to address it, he sort of weighs it for a moment and then discreetly puts it in his pocket and says, "Well then, here we are." And he hands back to you the paper. Everything
Nice.
checks out. You'll need this, of course, if anybody else would like to see your papers. You will just need to show them these.
Okay.
And he hands back to you the blank piece of paper.
Thank you so much, Mordecai, and best of luck to you today. I hope it gets a little better for you.
Vincent, Eric, the storyteller, do take a shower. And yes, Eric,
Yes, indeed.
you know that there are nice places in the entertainment district. You don't need to be slumming around here. You see this filth in the alley?
Oh, I see it.
I assure you, sir, we're just passing through. But thank you
That's
so
right,
much
yeah.
for your time.
Okay.
Yeah, you take
Thank
care
you,
of yourself
sir.
too, Mordecai. You take care of yourself.
Okay. And then he goes along, sort of snapping as he goes. And he and his friend are off to have perhaps a pastry and a drink.
I kind of list. I wait. I turn around the corner and I wait for him to leave. And once they're a good enough distance away, I go to check up on the 2 people in rags. Weren't they looking over people in rags in the alleyway?
They were.
So
You have essentially here a couple of people who have made their homes on the street in the debris and refuse of what they could find. And the guards were hassling them for whatever, perhaps trying to shake them down for drugs or information. That's probably what you could gather here. But the 2 people are hard to communicate with, and they don't seem to really have much to say.
I toss them a gold each, and I say, "You guys aren't being treated well. Here you go."
As you give them a gold, they rush to gather whatever things they can that they might be able to make use of in the next place that they stay. and they are very grateful to you, but then seem to want to tend to their own goods and essentially getting out of this place,
Sure.
this alley.
Oh,
Well, I'll look over to Vincent and say, that was close.
that was a good save.
Let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah, you want us to pay you back or anything like that? Because I can.
By the next round.
Fair enough.
Oh, yes, well done, Master Vincent. Thragnout's quite relieved as well. He was just kind of leaning against the side of the alley, trying not to be known.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll try to not kill any guards that we don't have to kill, I guess.
Yeah, I am rather injured.
I'm still at 1.
Oh, you're still
Cool.
at 1?
Yep.
Oh, I thought you were like, good. Are we all injured?
Oh yeah, man.
Oh, no.
I'm not that bad.
What are you at?
Oh yeah, okay.
I'm untouched.
Oh, my.
Nice. Show off.
I don't know.
Man, that would have been very bad.
With that, we'll make it keep carry on our way.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, I guess I was gonna say I don't know if that's right, but the more I'm thinking about it, I think our last fight I kept my distance. I stayed away from everyone.
Yeah, you
so.
did.
Yeah, you were popping
Yeah.
from the back row.
Yeah, I learned that lesson real hard last time.
Yeah. Yeah. As we're moving, I might.
It's like, oh, I got a new sword. Oh, never mind.
That's right. That's right. I might add an extra skip in our step just to maybe. That might have spooked me a little bit, though. Maybe we need to get where we're going a bit quicker.
Oh, yes, Master
Okay.
Eric. Let us make haste.
Yeah.
And follow Eric the cleric.
Eric the cleric.
Eric the cleric.
Love it. That was an accident, but I'll take it.
And so as you all are rushing down the alleyways and the different pathways created by this shanty town and this myriad of shops, there's a large group ahead that is gathered just to take part in various shops and entertainments that are happening here in the slums. And as you are slowed, a man approaches you. He's very dirty, and he holds up small pieces of tapestry, artwork, and he says, "Yes, one for the mother, one for you, my friend. Yes, this looks like something you need." And he walks up to you, Eric, as you're trying to make your way through this crowd. This man trying to peddle a small picture of an anchor sewn into this cloth.
Wait, it's a picture of an anchor sewn into cloth?
Yes, an anchor would be like the symbol of Therazessa.
Yeah.
Oh.
Is there anything on? I guess.
7 shillings, my lord, that is all. A fair price for such a beautiful work.
Is that the same as 7 silver pieces?
Like 7 copper.
Oh, 7 coppers. Trying to think. Yeah. I've got like 7 silver pieces. I'll give him a silver piece for it.
Oh, most generous, sir. Thank you. And your friends, they need one as well.
I'll tell you what, and I'll give him a silver piece as well. But I'll tell him, say, I already have one. So just use this to give one to the next lowly traveler that can't afford their own.
Ah, good master. A charitable master. A friend of Doonsmere, perhaps. One who gives friends.
No, that's me. I'm the Dunesmere guy.
You, well, I have one that is perfect for you, my friend.
Oh, yeah? What you got?
That's our
Yeah.
dune smear.
I have this beautiful cloth, finely woven by my grandmother, woven by hand. It is only 17 shillings. And he holds it up, and it is the symbol of Doonsmere, which is a fist in an open hand, similar to the martial arts salutation.
How much is 10 silver? Is that like a gold, or is that way too much?
He's asking you for 17 copper.
Oh. Well, I don't have any denominations of silver or copper on me. I would have to do the math later, but I'll give him 17 copper. Why not?
Do you have no copper? Do you have silver?
I have tons of gold. I just don't have any silver or copper.
Well, as you pull out your gold pouch, oh, well, I cannot. Oh, my good lord, you are quite rich. Well, just the gold will do. But I am afraid I cannot break that. I do not have the change here.
It's fine. You need it more than I. I give him my gold.
Oh, yes, and can I show you? Where are you going, sir? Do you need a guide?
No, we have one. Thank you.
We're good. Yeah, we know exactly where we're going. Thank you so much for your time, though, and I wish you all the best of luck.
Well, if you need a great meal, my sister around the corner, she has made a fine stew, and she is serving up the extras at a fair price.
Sounds wonderful. We have an appointment to keep, so maybe on the way back.
Thank you, sir.
Well, thank you, good lords and gentlemen, and fare thee well. And he bids quite deeply as he goes on to try to make the next sale.
As we're stepping away, I'll instinctively just make sure I have everything that I had 10 seconds ago. Make sure I have my 2 weapons, my couple of hand axes, and I can feel my pouch with the few coins left that I had.
I gave the man a gold. He should be nice to us.
I'll do the same, actually. I'll see Eric patting himself and be like, oh, yeah, wait.
I look and I start doing the same thing. Like, well, I don't think they're a pickpocket, but I don't do it.
Everything seems to be in its place. He was probably quite satisfied with what you offered up.
Well, that's why I've kind of I try to overpay. If you overpay, then they don't need a tip.
There you go.
If you give them a tip, they don't try and take a tip. I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
Wisdom.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Silverado's over there acting like the guy that goes to 7-Eleven and buys a pack of gum with a $50 bill. What do you mean you can't break
That's
it?
right.
I wasn't expecting him to break it. I was just like, it's fine. I got 200 pieces of the stuff.
What do you mean you don't take 50s here?
I will have to break some gold eventually
It's
somewhere.
legal tender.
Look, I can give you like a cigarette. I don't know.
Well, yes, a cigarette would probably be fair trade here, by the looks of the place. And as the crowd kind of
do I have to
clears
have some sort of do I have to have some sort of proof or anything that I bought this from that guy?
does
for
he
an
give like a
item this
receipt?
small, probably not.
Okay,
Probably
I
be
didn't think
good.
so.
Mostly this tax is being imposed on goods sold by people who can afford to pay the tax, or
Things in bulk.
yeah, or like if you're in a store, something like that.
Okay.
This gentleman's business seemed quite illegitimate. So he may be asked,
Right on.
like in this situation, maybe he'll be asked to produce a receipt for all the sales he's made or something like that. Or maybe
Sure.
somebody will like spy him making all these, sales. But I think in the situation of you just having a, small tapestry piece of cloth, I don't think that's anything that would need to be like, marked down on your itinerary. Yeah.
And this is also that's probably the kind of thing I wouldn't want to be. I wouldn't want to advertise that I like. It's a nice tapestry, but I probably wouldn't want to have it somewhere out in the open at this point, or at least down here.
I think that you'll be okay with Teresessa because all communities show some form of reverence to her, or at least respect. She's
Okay,
pretty,
and she
key
maintains
in-
the balance and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, and her existence is pretty key in their existence. She's literally
Okay.
holding the world together, based on where strong civilizations are and things like that.
Okay.
What about Dunesmere? Will people be mad at me if I fly a Dunesmere flag?
Dunesmere might be a little bit more controversial in the subterranean because it's nearer the primordial force that the realm is built upon, which is the force that Dunesmere is eternally at battle with. So for the most part, you'd probably be okay, but this is a place where you might find zealots or people who would despise Dunesmere.
All right, I put it away for now.
Cool. We're getting closer to the Temple of Therazessa?
Yes, you see it just ahead.
Cool.
It's a large. It has a raised ceiling with pillars that are around 20 feet tall. In the center of the temple is a large fountain, and
Nice.
peaceful waters trickle therein, and cleansing waters.
Nice. Cool. As we approach, I'll throw a silver piece in the fountain.
Oh, we're doing it. I take a go. No. I got enough good luck from giving to the poor.
Vincent's going to take a look at the whole massive, temple and the fountain and all the elaborate god stuff, and just kind of look at it and just let out a bit of a pretentious, judgmental sigh.
Yeah, I give Vincent a pat on the back and like, I'm kind of there too.
And you guys would probably notice that I all of a sudden have like this sense of relief in my whole my body language just kind of becomes relaxed as we get close. I mean, he's a pretty big guy and probably not much would spook him, but he definitely feeling more comfortable now.
And as you do throw your silver offering into the pool, it disappears and goes to aid the mother. Now,
Nice.
when you approach, the main part of the temple is basically like open seating arranged around the pool. It's just kind of a communal spot for people to gather and rest, to share experiences, things of that sort. And then below the ground, there are different rooms that travelers can stay in, and then rooms for the cleric who is watching the temple, and rooms for the students. But it's, in general, minimalistic, but quite beautiful. The stonework would be quite ornate, though, again, minimalistic.
And as we kind of walk by the fountain, I'll just kind of kneel, do a knee down, knee up, put a hand on the fountain, just say a small prayer, saying I'm sure there's probably some sort of common prayer to the mother, basically, thank you for looking after me while I was away. I'm back and safe, and that kind of a thing. And then it'll be a very quick, 10, 15 seconds, and then I'll stand up and carry on with the rest of the group.
Okay.
So we're looking for Jopri, right?
Jopri, yes.
Jopri.
I put away I put a cork in my wine bottle and I put it away because we're in a holy place.
As we're approaching the doors, I'll just look over at Silverado and reach out my hand, just expecting him to know that I want my pick back now.
What? Well, you want what? You want the wine? You want here?
No.
Silverado, he wants his weapon back, buddy.
He's got his hammer though. It's right there.
Yeah.
You can't be subtle with this guy. You got
Right. Dude. You need to be double fisted now anyway. So I'll take the pick back.
Fine, I give it to him.
And I'll just hang him back up on my belt and carry on.
Silverado wanted to hit the mines.
I leave the party and become a miner.
You'd rather just hand out gold ingots instead of gold coins.
I melt them down.
Yeah.
This whole thing just becomes an inventory management game.
Totally.
You come back 5 levels later, and I have run a blacksmith shop.
Yeah.
There you go.
Whatever you need.
What's up, guys?
So we'll go in and seek out Jopri. I probably have an idea of where I might find him. Either if he's in his quarters, or
You see one of
if we
the
don't
older
see him
students, and he tells you that Jopri is teaching a class. You can go downstairs and find him there. He says, Master Eric, do you have important business?
I do. I need to speak with Jopri.
Okay.
I do. I need to speak with Jopri and only Jopri at this point.
Oh, well, he is in the middle of class, but if it's very important, I'm sure he'll know what to do. And yeah, as you know, the classroom is downstairs to the left.
No. Now, would it be this kind of thing? Would I from an etiquette point of view? This would be okay. This is the kind of thing that'd be okay to interrupt him, or would I know I should wait?
I think you'll be okay to interrupt him. As a cleric of Therazessa, you're pretty high up on the pecking order. So if you have some business that needs to be handled, you'll probably need to, if you're ready to speak with a cleric who's just teaching a class to whatever kinds of students, I'd say that your business is probably more important than that, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
In the Church of Therazessa, there will probably be not a lot of rules or set customs because, she is the goddess of many communities.
Sure. Yeah, and it would kind of bleed into the way I was raised. I grew up in the kind of family that very orderly, and we didn't interrupt each other. Really, we were taught good manners. We had a governess that was a priestess of Therazessa, so she taught us to be polite and proper, and so I wouldn't want to step on any toes just from.
Okay. Well, I think then in that case, maybe you would just peek into the classroom to see what's
Sure,
happening.
yeah, that probably I'll do that. I'll just kind of, yeah, exactly. Think back to the Indiana Jones what's the old guy's name? He always kind of peeks in when Dr. Jones is teaching a class, trying to treat it like that.
There you go. And as you do peek in, you see Joffrey. He's teaching a class to children and writing furiously on a chalkboard. He is giving a lecture. He says, when two campers set their tents beside each other and share a fire, that is Therazessa. When a noble gives his old books to the library, that is Therazessa. When a ship brings grain from the north farms to the three kingdoms, that is Therazessa. When a skilled miner sells his stones, and the children chorus, that is Therazessa. And he chuckles a bit, he says, and he turns around and says, when an old man hires a young man to lay his stone walkway, that is Therazessa. And also when a young man lays the stone walkway for the old man, but accepts no pay. And at this, the children's chorus seems to die off, and perhaps they're expecting something. And
that's why Eric chimes in and says, that's Therazessa.
I say under my breath,
Master
that's
Eric.
Doomsmere. Wait, wrong religion.
I lean over to Silverado and whisper, that's bad business.
Oh.
And the old man says as the children begin to groan, well, worry not, this old man can pay the young men for their trouble. And he gives each youngster a copper coin. And he says, and so this old man asks these young boys to lay the brick from well to traveler's trowel. And the young children kind of scatter off.
Yeah.
And he says, Joffrey comes from the other end of the classroom and approaches you, Eric. He says, Eric, it looks like you've gotten into trouble.
Just doing what you sent me to do, brother. It's mission accomplished. I couldn't actually bring proof, but Orgood will not be a problem anymore.
Ah, then he was using the mother's name in his fell rituals?
Absolutely he was.
Yep.
Absolutely he was, yep.
And who are your friends?
Oh, forgive me. This is let me introduce Silverado, and this is Vincent. They had similar business with Orgood, and we
All kind of came together.
yeah, yep, exactly.
Oh, I do love when a good plan comes together. Now, you two look like you need some rest, and perhaps we should have a seat in the dining hall.
Yes, this red stuff isn't raspberry jelly. I am very injured.
Yeah, the three of us could use some rest, actually. Yeah.
Well, please,
But
business can wait at least until you wash yourself in the fountain. I will wait for you in the dining hall.
That sounds good. That sounds good. Boy, I didn't want to wait. I didn't want to make you wait with the good news.
Well, thank you very much. I very much look forward to it, but it seems that you would fall over before you are able to deliver it if you do not take some of that water.
It's a good idea. Well, we'll do that. We'll meet you in the dining hall. With that, I'll lead Vincent and Silverado, and we'll go and get cleaned up in the fountain.
Okay.
So we just kind of like step in the fountain. This isn't like a social fox paw or something like that? This is
Yeah.
okay.
When you guys bathe in the fountain of Therazessa, it does not soil the waters in any way. And it's a common thing for weary travelers or wounded. Get with it.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm fine with that.
Before
It might almost be familiar to you guys.
Yeah, it's almost like we've seen it before on a farm.
seen this trick before.
And so you guys are, cleaned up before dinner. And I imagine you'll be going to the dining hall to meet with Joffrey.
Absolutely.
Yes.
When we finish up, I will throw another silver coin in the fountain.
In the dining hall, you see a basic stone table with stone benches. One of Joffrey's younger students is setting out stew for everybody, and Joffrey is seated there reading. He says, "Yes, you look much better already. Come on in."
Thank you. We'll kind of go up and I'll take off I have a backpack on and a cloak on and try and somewhat relax a little bit. And are you guys going to join us?
Yeah, I'll sit down. I'll take off my backpack and
Might as well. I'll sit down.
I'll take off my short sword. It's around my belt and I'll untie it and I'll put it down next to my backpack.
Yeah.
I don't take anything off, but I don't have any weapons visible. So
Right.
Now, Eric, tell me, what did you find?
Well, you were right about the Minotaurs as well. So Orgood has, and we only saw a couple, but I'm sure there are more. Yeah, foul magic. I'm sure some of these men's these guys' friends were going to become Minotaurs had we not shown up when we did.
Yeah.
We actually managed to kind of catch Orgood
At a bad time.
At a bad time. And he still put up a good fight, but our swing was the last one.
Oh my, I can't believe it came to that. Then Orgood is slain?
Orgood is slain.
Yes, he is very much gone.
Then did you find that he was enchanting items?
I look towards Eric and I kind of just like, yes, no.
Well, my new friends here did mention something that they had found not in Orgood's temple, but somewhere else.
Yes.
A hammer that they'd found.
I take out the hammer and I lay it on the table.
we found this mid enchantment.
Yes.
With
Good
DM question. When we found the hammer, there was all the runes and stuff around it for the enchantment spell.
Yes.
There was a symbol of Therazessa there,
Yes.
right? Yeah. So part of the enchant. I don't know much about enchantments, but I know within the runes that were surrounding this one was the symbol of Therazessa.
Oh. And you have carried this all the way here, then may I touch it?
Yeah, nothing bad happens.
He carefully lifts the hammer, which is a little bit awkward and quite heavy, and he begins analyzing it very carefully. As he looks at the butt of the handle, it seems to pique his interest. So, that is strange. I know this marking. A very famous smith. You see here? And he shows you, Silverado, the butt of the handle here, right on the very end, is carved two hammers. But within one of the hammers, there's a very fine line drawn to indicate that the hammer is, I don't know, like a ball hammer or sharpened at the end. Does that make sense?
I don't know. It's just two hammers.
It's two hammers, but one is slightly modified.
Okay.
Oh. So there's a hammer head at each end?
Yeah, it looks like the symbol of Brahms, which is two hammers over an anvil. So these two hammers are crossing each other, and one of the heads of the hammer looks like a D, and he says, "This was made by Master Dunlop. I
Oh,
wonder what it is doing here."
Master Dunlop. Huh.
yeah. Wow. Another question. Well, it could have been. Is Orgood's deeds of doing bad rituals and all that and bad magic, is that common knowledge, or is that just something a few select know?
Well, we had our ideas, and so that is a big part of why Eric is here, and it appears he has uncovered the truth of the matter, but we knew he was up to fell rituals. It is just that we do not want him using the name of the mother at this time.
So
Now, go ahead. Sorry, Silverado.
So it could be that this craftsman didn't know what purpose this was going to serve exactly, other than just being a hammer. Could have been commissioned, since Orgood was a fairly wealthy person, I imagine.
It was built for the specific purpose.
Yeah, so he just had it commissioned and paid a high price for it, and
It's possible Dunlop didn't know what he was
Yeah.
helping with.
that's what I'm getting at. Is because if it
Yeah.
wasn't common knowledge that it was bad rituals, then it's possible that Dunlap didn't have any
There-
idea.
Well,
There was-
Dunlop is a far superior smith to any we have here in Dalrin Caillou.
Right on.
It is a shame he
Nice.
does not claim the Lydiana or Dunsmere name. He would be much more powerful, I think. And Eric, who is himself a Dwergar, strokes his beard.
Sorry, who is? Oh,
Eric?
Eric, I know typically we're looking at evil Dwergar, but
You
No.
mean Dunsmere? Or Dunlop? Or Jupri?
I'm sorry, Joffrey.
Eric turns
I do-
into a
I'm changing-
Dragar?
Changing
Okay.
your race, Eric.
Like, what just happened?
Yeah, you gotta
No, I'm
adjust your
sorry.
stats a bit.
Jopri is a Durgar.
Yes, Joffrey is a Dwergar.
Cool.
He's a local. He has a white beard spiked in two long points with some kind of fashioning grease.
Cool.
Hair pomade.
He says, "Well, this hammer, it sickens me that they would use the name of the mother and the snake in the same spell. Now even the Titan
Disgusting,
Anom
right?
harnesses her magics."
This is a DM question, but if I remember right, one of us had a dream about some giants swimming and smashing world chains.
One of us might have been slain.
Yeah, I figured, and I never knew if that information was passed on, or I
It
don't think it
wasn't.
was.
It was
Okay,
not.
so we have no clue. All right.
Oh. Now, one thing that
Geez, Xander.
God, send us a
Um,
message. Come on.
Jopri did have what seemed to be some kind of apprentice that did manage to get away from us.
Mm-hmm.
Or
And I
good.
didn't know. Pardon me.
Or good had an
Or good.
apprentice
Or
that
good.
got away from you.
Orgood, yeah, Orgood's apprentice, yeah. And I don't know
I
if
mean, he
there
was
might
like
have
just
been
a
other-
kid, wasn't he?
No, I was a secretary.
Or good's
As a
apprentice
secretary,
is
right,
his
right.
secretary. Yes, he doubles as such. He is
Oh.
quite young, but has some power and a lot of promise to him. Orgood shows a lot of favor to the boy.
Showed.
And we
Showed.
did not have time to really get
Right,
into
guys, excuse me one sec. I'll be right back.
Orgood's offices, and I'm not sure if there might be other things like this hammer or more clues as to where it came from in his office. I'm not sure if that might be something that you might like us to look into further, Jopri, or if we think maybe going to see Dunlop might be the next.
Well, I am curious as to why this hammer was fashioned, but or from who it was commissioned, because this hammer to me looks like it is enchanted with the power for harnessing the for mining the Chaos Stone, the legendary stones.
Well,
Have you heard of these?
what is a chaos stone? I think
Chaos Stone. The blood of the primordial, or it's perhaps a fragment of its bone, or its spirit or essence. The Chaos Stones are deep within Gira, found within the most lucrative mines, or perhaps in places where there are no mines. The Chaos Stones, they are put to great power. That is how Therazessa keeps the world anchored. She has blessed the Chaos Stones and turned them into the the Anchor Stones, I think I am calling them, forgive me. And each of these stones she affixes her great chain to, and the community that surrounds this stone will lend it power, and so she holds the very realm together. Now there are those who seek to break the world chains, namely the Titan Anam.
So these Chaos Stones were actually forged by Therazessa?
The Chaos Stones. No one knows their true origin, but they are believed to be the essence of the primordial Girobosh Groza. And as he says that, the lights in the room flicker a moment. Forgive me.
He's another evil deity. He's another evil deity, is that right? Yeah.
Yes, Girobolsh Groza is the primordial entity that this entire realm is built upon. So Girobolsh is a primordial force of lust that was originally defeated by the ancient gods and then dealt with in various ways over the ages. And so this realm has spawned on the body of this primordial force of lust, and it has spawned mostly mining communities that harvest the remains of what this Titan or this primordial force was. And so that is the realm of Gira, essentially. And it is kept in order by the power trio of Therazessa, Brahms, and Dunsmeer.
Right on.
Well, now, to catch Chris up just for a quick second, we got an explanation of it was brought up that the hammer that we have is able to destroy chaos stones, which are used by Therazessa to essentially be an anchor stone to help her keep the world together, is what I got.
Yes, but the anchor stone can be used for many things. Yet the mother tamed the chaos stone to become an anchor stone. So under the power of the mother, it will become an anchor. But under the power of something else, that other power will be made manifest.
So we have this stone that's been blessed by the mother, and that serves as this anchor. But if, say, a
Evil wizard?
evil wizard or maybe a fiend or a devil of some sort were to get their hands on it, they could in turn imbue an evil into it as well.
Oh, yes. Yes, the most coveted Chaos Stone. Yes, an evil being would seek out such a thing and seek to impart its own essence in it.
So would, hypothetically, this particular stone that was blessed by Therazessa, if it were in the hands of someone evil or something evil, and they bestowed something upon it, would that completely undo Therazessa's touch to it, or would it incorporate the two together?
Oh, that is a very precise question, Master Vincent.
I'm
Are
sorry.
we
It's
moving away from the hypothetical here?
No. I'm just, it's an intriguing item. It's something that could be utilized against.
It's a world ender, essentially.
Exactly. I'm sorry if I'm making you uncomfortable with my questioning. I'll stop. It's just
It's a good question, though.
It's just a curiosity. I'm just trying to understand how I've been carrying this thing around, and I just want to know how it works.
Oh wait, I am quite confused. For I thought we were speaking of hypotheticals. Do you proclaim that you are carrying around such a stone?
I'm sorry. Time out. Did we not tell him that?
No.
No, we didn't tell him that.
Did I miss that part?
It was hypothetically, yes, and I thought that's where you're going with it.
Can I retcon that statement because I missed that part? I thought that we had
I understand you were away for a moment. So at this point, he is interested in your questioning of this.
So it's just a fascinating thing. I'm just very curious.
Oh well, absolutely, and please, Master Vincent, forgive me, but you do carry some powerful and strange magic, and in a way it is distracting me. Forgive me, but would you mind telling me what that is?
Some powerful and strange magic.
Yes, at your side there. Do you carry a chaos stone? It is like a magic that I have only read about.
The equipment that I have.
What was our original mission with this thing?
Our original mission was just to take it to Dunlop's Tavern and give it to Dunlop's
Tavern.
And to give it to whom?
Who has blessed this stone, Master Vincent?
Oh, I gotta learn to mention when I'm talking out of game.
Yeah, that was an out of game question because I was just curious. So I wouldn't know it either. Well, I don't know. Maybe you told us.
And I wouldn't know that they have the stone yet. Nothing's come up.
Silverado and you and I know what we're doing with it. You know that we have it and that what we're doing with it. I don't think we've
I have no
talked to Eric about or shown it to him or anything like that. No.
We haven't really chilled out yet to really talk outside of
That's true.
The hammer.
True.
Yeah.
Just so there's no confusion about if this would have maybe gone this way. I'm not trying to play off of metagaming and stuff or things that was meant to be set out of character. He would have sensed the magic on you. He was, he had sensed powerful chaotic magic on you. So we can go from that, understanding that he has sensed this powerful chaotic magic on you. And because of your kind of line of questioning regarding the stone, he seems very curious as to what this magical item on you is, because it is a magical energy that he is not used to dealing with, I guess.
And
it's pretty rare. It's not very common for people to be asking questions about them, right? It's not a...
Well, it is an interesting line of dialogue now.
Yeah, it's also incredibly powerful, and it's incredibly powerful chaos magic. So, if somebody's casting a detect magic or something like that, or some such spell is in place.
Yeah, for sure.
Which at a temple perhaps always is.
So I'll say, listen, I do have a very powerful item on me. Yes. It's not a chaos stone. I'd rather not get into what it is just yet. It's not anything it's not a weapon. I'm not here.
Not going to end the world.
Bad. I'm not going to do anything wrong. And I will. Can we just talk a little bit more before we get to the item in my pocket?
Oh, of course.
Okay.
Yes, of course.
It's not. Don't get your. It's not. I'm gonna spoiler alert. It's not a chaos stone, so I don't want you to get I don't want you to be disappointed. Get all hyped up that it's gonna be, and then I pull it out, and you're like, oh, it's not.
Well, so I've never witnessed the chaos stone side. Must admit that was quite helpful.
It's a really powerful stick.
Based on what you've told me about this particular type of item, I would be enthralled to be in its presence as well. Let me be upfront with you. The reason that we're asking these questions is because I have been made aware of someone who is trying to find one of these items to use in a malicious way. Now, all they're doing is trying to find it. They don't have any. They're nowhere near doing it. But I'm just trying to find out what it's capable of and what it can do to maybe try to ascertain what these
know
other
how
ones are trying to do.
to know how bad it is.
Does that make sense?
Well, yes, of course.
Okay. So here's what I know. I know that there was a chaos stone that was supposed to be taken to a location and kept safe there. Once at that location, it would secure the world, basically. Without getting it to said location, the titans and monsters of the world may, in fact, unleash their wrath. So it must be returned. Okay. Now here's my question for you. If, say hypothetically, that stone were discovered by someone of ill will and they bestowed upon it their dark blessing, but then left it for another hero or a champion, or maybe even presented it to one, to have them bring the stone back to its proper location and restore it.
Would it be
which they would have to do, because with not doing that, then the world is destroyed, right? So you have to do that. But then what happens if they put this stone back in place and it's cursed? And if it is cursed, then is there anything, once that power is laced within it, is there anything that one could do to remove it?
Master Vincent, I am a master of riddles, and I have never heard this riddle before.
I'm sorry that I have to speak to you so cryptically.
This is a strange quandary. The stone that has been blessed.
Okay, I'm sorry. I asked you like 5 questions at once. So let's break it down. Let's take a step backwards.
Yes,
okay?
Please.
Let's start with a big one. If this stone has already been blessed by the mother, and then it were to receive a dark blessing from, say, a fiend or a devil or some other evil
entity.
Yes,
I take you, yes.
Could one remove the dark curse from it?
Well, when a power is put into the Chaos Stone, it can be put there only by a cleric or a god.
Right.
Sorry, guys. Give me 1 second to rearrange our images here real quick.
So basically, bad curse. Got good curse with it. Can you get rid of bad curse?
But keep the good curse.
But keep good curse.
Yeah.
And if it has bad curse and you can't get rid of good curse, but you have to return it anyway, then what happens then? Because you got good curse and bad curse, and you can't get rid of those, and you have to restore it anyway. And
I think that would depend on what the bad curse was, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, if you have a cleric of, let us take Brahms, and this is what would you say, a fresh cleric. He is just learning the ways of Brahms. If this cleric of Brahms were to gaze upon the Chaos Stone, he could perhaps master it. He could put his own power, his own essence. He could channel the essence of Brahms, but he must remain there as a steward of the stone. And then, let's say that this same stone falls into the hands of a vile cultist of Rispetong, and this cultist brings it to the High Cleric of Rispetong, who is most powerful, and we do not know her name even. And then this cleric blesses the orb. Well, then this cleric's energy will displace the energy of the cleric of bronze, because it is far more powerful. But if the powers are of equal or near equal strength, they will compete or coexist, depending on the essence put therein.
When you say they must stay there, what do you mean by that?
Well, a piece of them must stay in the stone until it is installed in the altar properly. They must stay there as a guardian.
Installed properly?
When you say so, if speaking hypothetically, this young cleric of Brahms, if he were to come across one of these stones and bless it, he would be sucked into the stone?
Unless he can
Or-
make another image or another instance of himself to place therein. Yes, he would be in the stone. Many have sacrificed themselves in such a way for the better of all of us.
And that can be all for naught if big bad guy cleric or priest just goes into it and just destroys that person's essence and takes over if it's not powerful enough.
Oh, yes. So a stone should always be blessed by a most powerful cleric. I would be most apprehensive to touch or look at one myself.
Man, this religious stuff is crazy.
But I would be curious nonetheless.
I think that's the dangerous part with the magic is the curiosity.
Yes, well, a cleric is known to have a built-in defense, if you will, against the chaos magic within the stone.
Okay. So this okay. So if we took one of these chaos stones that the mother has blessed as an anchor, but it also through its travelings received a dark touch from something evil, but then we just placed it into the altar. What do you think could possibly come of that?
Was it blessed by the mother herself?
Yes. I think. Let's say yes.
The mother is most supremely powerful. I do not know any power that would usurp that of the mother.
Okay.
So you have to have another god compete, essentially.
Do you know of any? So you don't really know of any sort of creature that could. Now, what if it was? Maybe it wasn't the mother herself. Maybe it was a very powerful cleric of hers that blessed it. But then someone as powerful or even more powerful, serving a dark entity, put their spin on it.
Well, I think the only version of this hypothetical that can go bad is if you have Therazessa, whatever power bless it, be less powerful than the evil entity, whatever that may be. Because in that scenario, Therazessa goes down and the evil entity takes over. Only in the instance that they're both equally powerful, say Therazessa herself and big evil entity man, they would coexist and not be able to cancel each other out. And in that scenario, if it were to be placed in an altar, what would happen?
Silverado, have you studied theology? You have a bit of a grasp on this already.
I am wise. I also day drink. So one of those two.
Yes, how about a
Basically
drink
the same
then,
thing.
huh? Would we all like a drink?
Oh,
Yes,
I could drink this
yes.
entire time?
Oh, of course, my friend. Make yourself at
Oh,
home.
God.
These are the
You should have
halls of
said that.
Therazessa. Do as you will, my friend.
Oh, God. I've been suppressing a headache. I just need
As we've been doing this, all have been eating too. As we're kind of like talking and eating.
Oh, yeah. I'm
Absolutely.
going to need a lot of food.
There's a hearty stew that's been served. Very nourishing. Not very fancy, but it'll definitely do the trick. Bread and stew.
Great.
Speaking of which, I'm going to go get my dinner right now, so you continue.
Actually, with that, why don't we all just take a brief break, and then we'll come back to this conversation in about 10 minutes, okay?
Sure.
Sounds good.
All right, we'll be
That
back on
sounds
the
good.
Heroes Era.
Gotta take
All
this
right.
in.
Silverado, the theology expert.
Come back, everybody, to the Heroes Era. Right now, we're in the middle of a meeting between the heroes and a cleric of Therazessa named Japri. And right now we're engaged in a hypothetical, not hypothetical, maybe, maybe not conversation about a chaos stone and what said stone may or may not do.
And right now, I'm kind of just trying to figure out, put all this together, because I wouldn't know much about these stones. Now these guys seem to know quite a bit about these stones.
We're asking questions, trying to figure out.
I mean, I knew that Orgid was up to something, but yeah. So coming back around to Orgid, would there be any value in us trying to go back into his tower or his house or whatever you call that thing here where we met him? Or do you think we can put that to rest?
How many of his minotaur did you slay?
2, and then two armored guardians that were
Maybe 3.
Well, most of the guard will be gone most of the day, but he has more than 20 minotaur warriors that he houses there, so I don't know. Perhaps best to be out into safety. Did you had something in mind that had piqued your interest there?
Magic stuff.
No, I was just thinking if perhaps his apprentice would be picking up where he left off.
That too, yeah.
I'm sure he is, but he is of no consequence when compared to Orgid. Orgid was a fierce political leader, respected throughout the city, and though he had high hopes for his young boy, I'm afraid that he is not seen as such in the proper circles, if you take my meaning.
Was that boy his son, or was he like adopted, or like literally just an apprentice?
I'm not sure. Orgid says he was an orphan, but Orgid takes many orphans that I do not think are orphans.
Let's come back around there for a second, Joffrey, on what you just said about Orgid. He's a fairly well-respected and liked person in this city.
I don't know about liked.
Whom we just slayed.
Yes,
and his apprentice probably has a good idea of who did this, right? So I'm wondering if we should be leaving.
That is a pertinent thought. I can arrange a way out of the city for you, of course.
It sounds like maybe we should pay this Dunlop a visit and take the hammer.
I think it's a very good idea. I think we should go to Dunlop's.
Dunlop's it is.
Thragnown says...
Would you be...
I'm sorry, go ahead, Eric.
Sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead. You carry on. Sorry.
Thragnown says from where he's sitting, Master Vincent, can I have a moment with you, please?
Sure.
And Thragnown will step into the hall with Vincent. He says, Master Vincent, I think that we can trust him.
I agree.
But you do not show him the stone.
Well, I think it's best for him if he doesn't know that we have it. Look, all we have to do...
All of us, if none of us had it.
I agree, and I'm trying to not have it as quickly as possible. That's why I say we need to get to Dunlop's. We need to offload this thing to where it's safe. The whole thing right now is that, like, this guy is great with information, and I agree with you that we could trust him. But if he knows anything about this thing or who has it or where it is, that puts him in danger. That makes him a target. That makes this whole place a target. So it's best if we just, the fewer people that know about this, the better. That's my opinion. And if you disagree, then we can have that conversation. But I just think that it's best if we are just cool about this, you know?
He says you're asking a lot of questions in there, Master Vincent.
I don't know anything about this thing. I'm just trying to know what I can know.
Or I think our images. No, you're already on it. You got it. If I may ask, Is Thragnown referring to me or Joffrey?
I'm not sure. It's a good question. He's probably referring to Joffrey, I think.
Intrigue.
Get our pictures lined up here because Zoom hates me.
I don't think it's just you. Don't worry.
Thragnown says, well, I feel like we have found someone who can truly help us with this. And I feel like you know something that you are not telling us.
Look, right now, I'm going to be totally fair with you right now because this is your people's relic. Do you want me to tell him that I have it?
He says, I think it would be good if he looked at it. But I don't know what the wise thing to do here is. I received a premonition before we left to find the one who would be wiser than me to entrust this with. That is you, Vincent, so if you say that we do not tell, then we will not tell. But if this Eric is journeying with us, he should at least know the danger he is in.
Well, now, Eric is another story. I agree that he should know that we have it. But
Very good, then we are agreed. And I trust in you, Vincent.
and you.
And then he would go to move back to the general dining room where everybody is still seated, eating, conversing.
Hey, Joffrey. Do you have any, like... Do you have, like, a shirt or something I could wear?
Oh, Silverado, of course. Go with
Yeah.
the student to the students' quarters. You'll find something that fits there, of course.
Cool, yeah. I'll go get an... I don't want anyone seeing my massive burn marks and the holes from what I'm bleeding from. So
We can pay you for it too.
There is no need for payment. Anything here that is mine is yours as well. The
Cool.
information
Did you have
brought me
grapes?
is payment enough.
You have grapes too? I haven't had grapes in like 100 years.
We are thousands of feet below the earth, Silverado. There are no grapes here.
I thought that was like a religious thing that people had. They had grapes.
Grapes are a luxury, and you probably could find some in the entertainment district, but no, not here. We have just a humble stew of fish.
All right, I'm gonna go get a shirt and then break into the wizard's house for some grapes. I'll see you later. I leave to go get a shirt.
The strange fellow.
Did he say that he's going to go break into the wizard's house?
He did say that.
Is that
The
a
one that-
euphemism? Is that a saying that they're saying now, the elves?
I'm gonna just.
I don't think. Excuse me, 1 second, guys. Hey, Silverado.
Can I make a stealth check just to go away? I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna see if he can find me or not.
Okay.
I'll roll a perception against it.
13.
Yes.
Ooh.
I'm gone.
Where has he gotten to?
Silverado. Ah, crap.
I go up to a young student like, hey, where are the shirts?
The shirts?
Yeah, I need a shirt, man.
Okay, well.
Look, I'm being followed. I need a shirt now, please.
The student is a little bit weirded out, but leads you
No, come on.
to like an area with bunks and trunks, and gets a shirt for you that fits. Oh, that should fit. Nothing fancy, but yeah, here you go.
Okay, thanks. I now owe a life debt to you, and I walk away and I go back into the
Oh, that's not
dining room.
necessary.
Well, it is for my culture.
Fair enough.
So I think
As soon as he walks out, I come in. Hey, did you see a shirtless elf come through here?
I just went that way.
Thank you.
So I'll just as that while they're off, maybe adjust Joffrey and just say to him that I feel like my next mission might be to seek out this guy Dunlop and just see what he knows. He may not know anything about what Orgood was up to, but
Yes, what did you take of this Vincent fellow? Do you know him well?
I just met them honestly while we were hunting through Orgood's home. He can fight, and we were all on the same side. So far I have no problem.
Yes, I find
They
his
mean well.
line of questioning quite curious, and Master Eric, I am quite certain that he holds a Chaos Stone. But as you know, it would be wrong of me to demand to see it. It is his. If it is in his possession, unless he has stolen it. Ah, what a conundrum. I do not know exactly what to do here, Master Eric.
If he does have one, what would be our next move? Would it be to destroy it?
Oh, well, that depends. Did you notice the scar across his forehead?
I did.
Have you heard of the branded one, Malkazid? He was banished from this realm long ago, so I'm not sure that your studies would have divulged much information. But yes, he is, let's say, a thorn in the side of Corellan, the ancient maker. Malkazid was banished long ago, and I believe he has always yearned to find a place. I thought that he was lost in Pandemonium, but he has a scar on his forehead, much like the one that you brought here, Vincent. I would look at him. I would be careful.
What was the name you said? This is a
Melchized, a demon.
Melchized.
Lord.
This is a demon or a demigod?
This is a fallen angel who has ascended to power through evil means. Call it what you would. But I would not say its name too loud in a place that is not as sacred as this. For even the name Malkazid would carry with it some power here. That is why it has been mostly forgotten, except among scholars.
Interesting.
What was the name of the dude? Malkazid?
Malkazid.
All right.
And Chopper, you think that this hammer that these folks have might destroy these stones? Is that correct?
I think that the hammer is designed to harvest the stone. I sense a magic that is quite delicate, as if to preserve, but also destroy. It is very intricate. I'm not sure. It is as if the wielder of the hammer could use a precision as such that could not be attained with another tool. Or perhaps it could destroy. It is hard to say. Have you seen it in action?
I don't believe I have, really, no.
I walked through the door at that moment, and I was like, oh, the hammer.
Silverado.
Yeah. Yeah, that hammer breaks things good.
If you wish to have walked in as they're mentioning the hammer, you can have heard that much of the conversation.
Sure.
I know.
I did see them destroy a door with it. Yeah, actually, I did.
I know you're trying to get your hands on that meta info.
No. I'm walking in when they're talking about the hammer. I don't know anything beyond that.
Yeah.
I say,
when we were in Orgood's house, one of you guys, I forget which one of you it was, destroyed that door. They locked locked us out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then you've wielded the hammer, Silverado.
Oh, many times, yes. I take out the half of a rock that has amethyst inside. It's like, I got this from one rock when I struck it once. I kind of expected it to go everywhere. It kind of like cracked down the middle.
Oh, you're a fortune finder then.
I guess, yeah.
Well, that is quite a remarkable piece that we have here. Would you mind if I cleanse it for you all? I don't suspect that you practice the snake magic.
No.
Because it will
No.
not
Yikes.
lose its properties, but
Think magic?
the,
Oh, hey,
magic,
Vincent.
the magic of Rispetong.
Rispetong, yeah.
Oh, that guy. Yeah. Yeah, I've read about him.
He's an evil dude.
He's a bad fellow. Yeah, we had a guy back in town where I'm from say his name out loud, and we threw stones at him until he died. It's pretty brutal.
Oh my, that's terrifying.
It was. I was one of the that threw the stones, but yeah, if I
Well,
didn't, they would lock me up for a bit.
Jopper, you're thinking, because clearly this hammer has been touched by multiple what entities?
Gods, theologies.
Yeah. You're saying
Ideals.
you feel like you could remove Rispetong's touch on it?
I can remove the taint of evil here.
If it doesn't make it worse, go ahead, by all means.
Worse, heavens no. No, not worse at all. Not worse in any way, my friend.
Well, black magic can be used as a source of power. Doesn't necessarily have to be bad.
Yes,
Yeah, I
as the
think
one
that
who
would- I think
comes
that would be good
walking
if you can
in
do
with
that.
nothing, not even a shirt on his back.
Look, I've died many times already.
You were unconscious. Now that's
Look, man, this is not my skin color.
Silverado's just pale.
I am very pale. I'm the first pale white elf you've ever seen.
He holds up his arm, and the Dwergar's arm is actually quite pale as well. Well, perhaps we have died the same number of times then, Silverado.
I've lived very long, man. That's doubtful.
Well, I would very much like to see this practice that you could do to cleanse this hammer. If possible, I would love to. If I can help in any way or take part or at least observe, I would love for that.
Oh yes,
I'm sure there's something to be learned.
And we do have, as you know, some of Brahm's finest with us here. And they have erected a sort of forge to where we can tend to this. Of course, our forge is nothing compared to the one that they had at the Temple of Brahms, but the giants destroyed that, as you recall. And so we are housing some of their clerics here and their students and arranging for their way out of town, but our brother Germain would be most happy to help us with this, I think.
Perhaps perhaps the three of us should take a rest first, and maybe once we are more rested, we could see to this ritual.
Yeah. Can't start a revolution with not a lot of blood in you.
a good point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you guys are interested in basically resting up, I imagine. You've had quite a day.
No, I'm gonna take a fat nap.
I would absolutely love to have a rest. Yeah. Would there, Joffrey, is there a room here that we might be able to use for, to get a good night's sleep at least?
Oh, well,
For
you
days.
can please have my private quarters for the evening, and I'll stay in the common area with the rest.
Dude,
I insist,
just
Eric.
Oh,
get me a.
most kind.
I only need a hammock, man. Come on.
Well, with that, I think let's do that then, Joffrey. We'll meet back up with you once we've rested.
Yes, and I do think it was a good idea for you to be on your way as soon as possible. When the authorities catch wind of what's happened at Orgud's, they'll be scouring the city, and if they saw what they thought was a cleric of Therazessa for any reason, then this is the first place they would come.
I have something that I would want to do after I get my 4 hours. Just nothing majorly serious at all. Just a bit of a goof.
Does anybody have anything in the evening winding down before you rest?
I just want to, when I rest, I want to try to keep the orb sort of like tucked as much like under and like behind me as I can. I want to try to sort of protect it with me while I sleep.
Okay. Thragnown asks you before you go to bed, Master Vincent, will we be traveling with Eric?
I think Eric's okay. I think, especially now that sadly, we've lost Xander. Xander was a real powerhouse. So, we need something to keep us moving, and Eric can kind of keep us alive too. I think he's going to be I don't think we have a choice but to bring him with us, to be honest. I don't think we stand much of a chance without him.
Well, I think you're right, and then if he is coming, when do you plan to tell him of what we carry?
When we leave here. I feel like if I tell him tonight, it'll put him in an awkward situation where he'll be torn between his, loyalty to the temple versus his loyalty to his new friends, and nobody wants to be put in that sort of predicament because there's no right answer to that.
There is a big picture here, so perhaps you would not be able to see it.
Exactly. He's not as invested as we are yet. His main loyalties are going to lie at the temple. Honestly, if I tell him we have it now, he's probably going to go and tattle because that's where his loyalty is. And that's okay. I respect that.
It would be the right thing to do for him.
From his perspective, it would. You're right.
Vincent, so I was planning to go get the others this evening. I am not tired in any way. I will hire a wagon, a runner, to run me there, and I will get the others and bring them back. What do you think?
I think that's a good idea, because then we can head straight out from here.
He says, I do not think I will have any problems if I am able to hire the right hand. Perhaps I'll see Eric, and if someone from the church can take me.
Yeah, I think that's your best option. Get Eric, maybe get an escort or something, so you don't have any issues.
Vincent, I know that this problem was thrust upon you, and I appreciate what you're doing and the thought that you put into this. Thank you for being my brother, Thragnown says.
Well, don't thank me yet. We're not done.
Yes, then when we get to Dunlop's, and he bids you a good night.
When we get to Dunlop's, and then after he leaves, I'll close the door and be like, if I don't end up killing everybody there.
And Eric, that evening, Thragnown will approach you, say, Master Eric, I would like to fetch the rest of our company. Do you think that you can arrange some runners, and I will hire a cart?
Absolutely, yeah.
Perhaps some of the spry students of the temple can run me over there.
Yeah, I'm sure they could. I'd love to come in with you, but I can barely walk right now. I'll talk to some of the students of Joffrey's and surely get you an escort that won't and you won't be bothered. And with that, I'd go and seek out Joffrey or one of the I don't know what the right word is. Basically, the underlings of his, and just explain the situation that Thragnown needs an escort to. And I'll say the name of the tavern. The quickest, safest route there, get there and get back. Probably the more people with him, the less likely there is to be a problem.
We'll send
the brothers. As you can tell,
we'll send the brothers Jib Jab, and the students defer to you, Eric, because you're a cleric, and clerics within the church, are going to be the most powerful people. Essentially, the only other cleric here is Joffrey.
Okay. Alternatively, if once I've had a rest, I could go with them.
They say, "Oh, do you think you can keep up? We can run Thragnown out there and back in no time."
All right, I trust you guys to do that. That's fine. Yeah. Yeah,
Tell
look
him he
after
doesn't
them.
need to hire a cart. We've got one out back.
Okay.
Even
I'll
better.
pass the message along to Thragnown. He should be in good hands.
Very good. Thragnown will leave with the two youngsters. He's sitting and they're just, carrying him in a two-wheeled cart as he goes for a ride through the city of Dalrin Caillou. And Silverado, anything before
Okay.
bed?
Yes. So I would like to grab a glass or a cup of something, and I would want to go find the man that led me to my shirt, the one who I said I owed a life debt to. But I want to find where he sleeps and have him not be there. So can I get that far at least?
Yeah, he's got some evening chores to tend to. He's got one of the
Okay.
bunks in the main bunkhouse there.
All right, so I know which bunk it is. Is anyone around?
There's people here and there. They're not necessarily paying attention to you, though.
You're not gonna crap in his pillow or something, are you?
No. I'm gonna, since I'm about to go to bed, I'm gonna pop Pass Without a Trace, just to make sure no one can see me do this. And I'm going to take my my cockatrice gland, which I've had in my pack ever since the first session, which is pretty gooey at this point.
God.
And I'm going to mush it up a bit, draw a circle on the ground at the foot of his bunk bed, fill the glass with water, take a match out from my tinderbox and put it on top, and then write, preferably in my own blood, if I'm still bleeding at that point, light fire in water for life debt, and then leave. And that's what I like to do.
Silverado, you are strange.
Yeah.
What?
And that's my night.
You getting all
Like-
Blair Witch Project on this guy?
I don't know how he's gonna react to it. Do some demonic stuff in the temple.
Yeah, the cleric Eric came back with these two strange people, and then random students ended up being cursed. So
Yeah.
Gosh.
One of them has a mark of a
It-
demon.
it
The
does-
other one's drawn.
It does absolutely nothing.
practicing
just a-
witchcraft on the children here.
It's just freaking them out.
Okay, a
Wow.
prank we'll call it, I suppose.
Hmm. It is
Unless-
a prank, yes.
Unless something bad comes of it, then what would it be?
And then I go to the
A
guest room,
horrible life choice.
and then I go into a trance. And no
Well,
one's none the wiser.
Silverado, when you awaken from your trance, Thragnown is returning with Dethida and Baruli and Hunalda and Kevin. And they all walk into the temple and go to the fountain where they, begin to make themselves comfortable and have a seat.
I kind of sit on the lip of the tavern. Tavern? Yes, tavern. Of the fountain. Oh, they're all...
Kevin turns his shoulder away from you.
Kevin,
Oh, hey, Silverado.
are you shy about washing in front of me? How dare you?
Oh, no, not shy. Just a little busy speaking with my true friends.
All right. Okay, Kevin.
Uh-oh.
Okay. All right. What are you angry at me for then?
Well, I'm not angry about anything. Maybe you should ask
That's
Dethida what she's angry about.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know what this is about.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah, you don't need to be angry with me about that, essentially, because I'm doing that to myself already. As you can see, I've already gone down a bottle of wine, and I am drinking myself to death here.
Silverado, you love wine.
I have pretty bad survivor's guilt here, Kevin. And I don't know if you know what that is, but that's basically when you live and everybody else dies. And I've been feeling that for a while now.
I wonder how guilty you would have felt if Dethida died while she was waiting for the hammer.
Oh, pretty guilty, trust me. I would have felt terrible. You don't have to beat me up about it, Kevin, because I'm already doing that to myself.
Well, I just don't know what to say, Silverado. I thought you were a different kind of guy.
I am a happy-go-lucky person, and I have not been happy-go-lucky for a bit now. All right? I've been keeping it on the down low, but I am very sad and very guilty. You can hate me forever. I'll be sad about it, but I would understand. Deathada can hate me forever. I'll be sad, but I would understand.
Well, I don't hate you. I just thought you were, you know,
A different person?
like a hero.
A hero, yeah.
Ooh.
Well, here's the thing. I can run real fast, and apparently, that's the only thing I'm good at. Being a pretty damn good coward.
Well, that's
So
not what happened with our dares. You just ran up and knocked that bastard out, so I don't really think that you're
Well,
a
yeah,
coward.
because no one has died yet. But when Xander died, I was torn up about it, and I didn't have anything I could do to like save him or heal him without presumably dying myself. I thought we were all screwed down there in the tunnels. I didn't know where you were. For first off, you were completely gone. Vincent also gone. No idea where he went. We had a wizard that we had to keep track of. We had another wizard who was the apprentice to keep track of. There were minotaurs everywhere. And I was running low the entire time. 2 people have died because of me. And you don't think I feel bad about that? Well, 3 now, actually, if I remember right. I feel horrible. My dog, Kingston, is gone still. And everybody's talking as if they want to leave without him, and they don't even remember that he was there. I want to go back for him. But no one remembers Kingston.
Bethany turns and says, I remember Kingston. He was with me when you left us.
Yeah, I know you remember Kingston. I feel horrible about it because my survivor instinct kicked in, and it's always flight because that's all I'm good at, is running fast and running away and not getting hit doing it.
Well, then, why don't you just keep this and then forget our friendship? And Deathada gives to you a gem necklace, and it's crafted from the rock that you had shattered with her. And she also throws at you a small satchel full of gem remnants that this has been fashioned from. And it's a small fist and open palm hanging from a copper cord, a copper wire. She says, I'm sorry, that's all she says at that point.
Oh,
I know I've done screwed up pretty bad. But I was panicking in the moment. And
Well,
I
think that you know what to do to make it better, because there is still someone that you left behind whose charge you were given to take care of.
I'm going to try and get him back. I may die doing so, because there's some people that were turned into minotaurs are going to kill me as I'm going for it. But I'm only one person. I keep being knocked unconscious and coming close to death in about every battle I've been in so far. So you have to understand that my thing is running and dying. And I prefer running before dying because I'm a coward. And the only way I can forget that is by hitting the bottle.
Or
and when I run
you
out,
could redeem yourself to the one that you left.
I want to redeem myself to you guys, but it seems that you don't want it. So I will accept your gift because it would be a waste if I were not to. Because you had a sole purpose for making this. And apparently this relationship is over. Not on my own accord.
Yes, well, I hope you do the right thing for the other one that you have betrayed.
I hope I do too. And if I don't, Oh well, I guess. I'm gonna talk to the others about it, and I don't know if it's gonna be a yes or a no. I honestly don't know.
Well, if you decide to go, then I will go too.
But
And
it's
then
good to
at
hear.
least you will not be alone.
Yeah, when I die, I'm trying to be a hero, and I leave, go sit in the room for a bit. There's a window I look out at with a chair, and then not getting deep into the bottle, but taking a couple of swigs from it. looking at the necklace.
Describe exactly how, like, what level of drunk we're getting to. You're like, not hitting it too
I'm
hard.
a functioning alcoholic. It's the only way I can fight.
It does give you certain powers and abilities.
Yeah, and that's just the grief talking. So, there it is. And everybody is awake. I'll talk to them about it, but I don't know. They want to go, they can go. I'm going to try for Kingston. Whenever I be left behind or damned.
Well, it took the other group about 4 hours to get to Orgood's house and back. So are you going to wake people and see if that's, and let them know that you're intending to do that, or you're waiting till everybody wakes up in the morning? Because if you remember, time is of the essence here, because if word gets out about what's happened to Orgood,
Yeah.
circumstances will change. So perhaps as Silverado is sitting there weighing his options, these thoughts cross his mind.
Well, let me input all my stuff that I have back now. And we didn't level up, if that's correct.
Level 4.
So, that's what I'm hoping for too, but...
No, we're level 4.
Oh, yeah. Well, after some consideration, I go over to wherever Deathida and the others are staying, and I come over and I take my sword, I strap it on my hip, I take my backpack, most of my stuff in it. I'm going to keep the rope, I keep the pittance, the hammer, and I'm going to put it down, most of my belongings, and say to whoever is awake there, Deathida or Kevin or whoever it may be, and I'm going to say, well, this may be a stupid idea, but I don't want to have to leave Kingston behind here. So if I don't return, you'll only be missing a short sword and a pale man. And if you want to come with me, you can, but it might not end well.
Well, they'll also be missing a dwarf that is hard of sight. And Deathida stands to accompany you.
Huh? This is how we're playing it. I do plan on stealthing Deathida. I'm just going to give you a fair warning.
Well, I will
can
stay
help.
out of your way, but...
I can help you stealth, but there's not much I can do. Do you have any information where Kingston may be? Anything at all?
Kingston is in the cell where we left him. You remember that the wizard made himself look like Xander, but Kingston knew it was the wizard. He would not follow him.
I don't remember what cell you guys... Were you in a...
They were in jail in the wizard's house.
Can you bring me to where you guys were at?
Yes, it was in a cavern underground. You could hear the river nearby.
Oh, Oh, that's where you guys were. Okay.
So as they're chatting and plotting and scheming and everything, Vincent's gonna wake up and roll over and be like, "Are you going after the dog?
Yeah, Vincent, I am.
Is there? You realize if we don't get this stone in place, the world's gonna end, right?"
You don't need me to do it. You got a
All
perfect. You got.
I start to get up and I start setting up a little. I set up my brazier and I'm pulling out some incense. I'm gonna say, "Can you give me 10 minutes before we leave? Because
Yeah.
we should bring Rollo along with us."
I just rolled a nat 20 to perception just to see if I wake up from what's going on from these guys.
Yeah, I imagine so, because you guys are all in Joffrey's private quarters.
Is it a group mission then?
Uh-oh.
What's going on, guys?
I had this warg that was entrusted to me from a goblin warlord a couple weeks ago. Yeah, it's a long story.
Okay.
And I named it Kingston. And in the event of being captured, I've lost him and left him behind because I'm a coward. I was going to go try retrieve him. So Vincent's coming along as well, but he's not hurt, and he may not have spell slots or magic at the moment. But
Oh no, I've got spells.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'll just need a minute. I might need give me 5 minutes and I'll be good. I understand. You know, family is family.
yeah,
You guys helped me take down Orgood. I'd be happy to help you find your friend.
yeah. All right.
But I think we should talk to Joffrey first because he seems to have an in on getting us out of here. So depending on how things go, we may not be able to come back here.
To get like an out.
We may need to work out our whole plan at once and then.
Get an exfil. All right.
Yeah.
Well, just be warned that you're not going to be full. You're not going to be on a full tank. So you're not getting a full rest. Unless you have some weird religious stuff I don't know about.
Oh, is this not? We're not finished resting?
No, this is me going right now after taking 4-hour rests. You guys would still be asleep. Hey man. You would have no health?
I'm fine.
Vincent's fine.
This would be like we would have had a short rest.
Yeah, I'll have a short rest, for sure.
Yeah, it's a short rest. It's just not a long rest.
Well, I just won't have any spells. I have all my
I have attacks.
all my other stuff is it will be fine. Yeah, I'll kind of roll. I'll roll my hit dice.
Well, no healing's not different from the norm so far.
Well, if we hurry, maybe the workhouse will still be empty.
Yeah.
Hey, Eric, do you think that perhaps the temple here has some potions or something that they could spare?
I'll talk to Joffrey. I mean, the chances are pretty good.
Just a couple, just to keep us alive through there.
Okay, well, I think that our path has been set here, and we have a quest before us. A rescue mission for Kingston.
Self-induced side quest. I mean, we also get to check out the place while we're there too, which is what we were planning on doing, like a little bit before we scrapped it. So it's a twofer.
Okay, well, very good. I think with that, we'll call it there for the evening. GG's, everybody, and then we'll pick up the story next time as we see if we can rescue Kingston.